Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. The message I heard is I had to defend myself somehow. The scripture comes from Titus 2 and 4 that they may make the young women sober minded to be lovers of their husbands, lovers of their children. So here's the message God said that for somebody, you are intended to be someone's wife one day. And even if it may be a situation where maybe you met someone or maybe you fell for someone and they didn't want to choose you as their wife. They didn't want to choose you to be their person. They didn't It's like they chose somebody else. And I almost feel like this is somebody that wanted to string you along. Like they just wanted to string you along for the ride. And they just, it's like they wanted you there, but they didn't want you there. They wanted you around, but they didn't want you around. And it caused you, like, we always talk about mental health. Everybody always talk about mental health. And then we always talk about physical health. Nobody talk about emotional health. Nobody talks about emotional pain, emotional trauma. And if you are dealing with somebody that is constantly bickering with you, constantly making fun of you, picking fights with you, I almost feel like this is emotional. This is emotional trauma. And I get it. I guess we don't talk about it as much because this is something that, from my opinion, it mostly affects women. Most men don't care. Like, they don't care if you're there. They don't care if you leave. They don't care if it's this, that. They just simply don't care. But women, we are on a deeper level as far as emotions go. And that's why even when it's a situation where you think it's a one night stand, you think it's a every time when I'm with you, I'm with you. We just friends with benefits, or we just this, that, and the third. Even the messages that I've been receiving about, you know what I'm saying, somebody that is literally just like a PIMP and somebody that work with him, emotional. Like, this is, it's a different level. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to hear nobody arguing the cup because I seen it with my own eyes. How when I have been married, my, exes would be basically like these women that knew he was married. They knew they was married. They knew that the man was married, knew he loved his wife, knew he ain't want to leave, and this, that, and the third wasn't gonna happen. Still had the nerve and the audacity to go out their way to try to make me feel some kind of way. I ain't trying to hear nobody argue with me because, baby, I will never forget that lady standing outside of our house, bro, with no clothes on, bro. Pulled her whole mattress outside, screaming and crying. The nonsense, bro. Emotional turmoil. And if you don't want to become that person, you gonna have to understand. And I feel like this is somebody you had to figure out when was the best time to nip it in the butt. And I feel like once you see that this person is being very defensive over whoever, like maybe it was a situation where it was I don't know. I feel like this is somebody, maybe you were dealing with somebody that had somebody else in the picture and you were trying to figure out if they were taking this person seriously or not. And the sign for you was when this person was, whoever this man was more concerned about whoever this other woman, her feelings, and how she felt about herself, and how secure she felt about their relationship versus how you felt, and if you were secure in y'all's relationship. And I feel like when it come down to it, it's just like, I just feel like, what more can you do? Like, what can you do when you are put in a position to where somebody that you take interest in, somebody that you like, somebody that, it's like, I almost feel like this is somebody that you, from one perspective, maybe this man was making it seem as if he really liked you, he wanted to get to know you, and y'all were really working towards a relationship. But on the other hand, he's holding on to whoever this other person is. And it's almost like, I feel like that is embarrassing. That is, like, heartbreaking. And it can be a situation where you just have to let go. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the biggest advice. You have to protect your heart somehow. And if it's a situation where this person, God said this person was being catty with you, this person was constantly trying, she would wanted it to be in your face that she was spending more time with him, wanted it to be in your face that, you know what I'm saying, that he will literally step on your feelings and step on your heart to protect hers. God said once it gets to that kind of level, you kind of ain't got no choice but to back off. You ain't got no choice but to dip off. Because, like, I mean, otherwise, it's going to be a situation where you're going to be constantly hurting. God says somebody you were dealing with being compared. That's another thing that happens. This may very well be a situation where there was a competition where it shouldn't have been. Okay, because if this man had already chosen her and he already felt like he wanted to be with her, what was even the point of trying to invite you around? What's even the point of trying to say that he wants you around? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this is somebody that they ego, maybe they wanted to feel like there were people fighting over them. Maybe they wanted it to seem as if that, like, I don't know. But God said this is somebody that, you know what I'm saying, you politely dipped out because that's the only way that you could think of protecting, defending yourself and protecting your heart. And one thing that I'm thinking about is, like I was saying, if it's a situation where you dealing with somebody being catty, and I can't say in the past I haven't had to, like, typically I don't have to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? When I've been married, I ain't never had to deal with a situation where my husband's side piece was trying to get up in my face and my husband didn't stand in front of me and tell her she better find the nerve and the audacity to go sit down somewhere and leave me all the way alone. And you know what I'm saying? It'd be a situation where she dip off her. And you know, regardless if you feel like, you know, you whatever position you feel like you in, it shouldn't even be like that's drama and unnecessary mess. And if you're the kind of person where you don't want to be treated like a side piece, you can easily simply, you know, remove yourself from the equation. Why would you steady be trying to hold on? Why would you steady be trying to play? Ain't nobody finna play your game. Ain't nobody finna deal with that. And you know, and that's just what it is. But I do know that there are some women that like that position. They love being in the side piece and they will literally sit around waiting on somebody else's man. Ain't nobody got time for that. I know me personally, baby, I'm gonna get my lashes together, get my hair together, get my brows together, get my nails together, and it's deuces to you. I'm like, even if it's just to build my own personal self-confidence up, you know what I'm saying? While I'm sitting up here thinking that I'm getting myself together for you, it mess around somebody else be wicked. You know what I'm saying? Wicked AI and be. Okay. Anyways, that's the message. Mess around somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Step out real quick. Go hit up regardless if I decide to go hit up a pool table or if I decide to go catch me a drink, catch me a movie, whatever it is I choose to do, go buy my business somewhere, go give me a bite to eat. And eventually, you know what I'm saying? I'll be somebody eventually. And hopefully and prayerfully somebody that is single. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And if they ain't single, I'm gonna tell them to chunk the deuces until I meet somebody that's single because that's what I want and that's what I deserve. I'm not finna be sitting around being a good girl for somebody that is married already. Like, what? Who does that? I'm not finna do that. I'm not dealing with that. And my feelings are not for the amusement of women that feel some kind of way about me, women that are, you know what I'm saying, regardless if it's jealousy or envy, and they just gotta see, I want to be able to say I took her man, I want to be able to say I'm messing with her man, I want to be able to say that her man like me more than he like her, and etc., etc. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for immature women. I don't have time for women like insecure women that are feeling as if they gotta go out their way to try to make me feel some kind of way. I don't have time for my ex is trying to send somebody, you need to go over there and X, Y, and Z. I don't have time for none of that because I am trying to protect my heart. I'm trying to shield my heart because I know in order for me to be able to do what God wants me to do, to be somebody's wife, somebody's mother, somebody's friend, somebody's sister, somebody's cousin, somebody's aunt, niece, whatever. I have to shield my heart from turmoil. I have to shield my heart from pain. I have to shield my heart from heartache. And even if that means eventually I end up being in the middle of nowhere where I can be alone when I want to be alone and I can be around people when I want to be around people, then it is what it is. But just I'm not trying to be no human punching bag. I'm not. I'm nobody's punching bag. It ain't no situation where, well, we lost our spark. We lost our spark. What can we? Let's go and that girl. Let's see if we can get her to feel some kind of way, and that's gonna make me feel so much better, and I feel pretty again. And I be, baby, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time. I'm going to protect myself. If don't nobody else protect me, I will protect myself. And as much as I don't want to be in the position of being I just feel like the most frustrating thing about this kind of vibe, when you are really trying to be in your feminine energy, you're really trying to be soft, you're really trying to be sweet, and a man is putting you in a position to where you have to be masculine, you have to be on defense mode, you have to because otherwise it's just like, I almost feel like this is somebody that wants to allow their girlfriend to be Regina George to a random innocent person, bruh. God said, oh no, he's gonna pull you up out of that. He pulling you up out of that. She don't deserve that. And you know what I'm saying? And it's both ways. You don't deserve to be treated that way. And this woman, she is not so amazing that she is supposed to be able to just step around and march around on everybody. Ain't nobody got time for that. You and her, cause you know what I'm saying? Take your whatever this idea it is and whatever game y'all playing and shove it. And that's the message. God said when it come down to it, you need to protect yourself. If ain't nobody else gonna protect you, you protect you. And that it is what it is. Can't nobody get mad about that. 11:44, as I say that, how they gonna get mad? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no situation. Well, I really liked you. I really cared about. Are you sure? You saying that out your mouth, but it's given that's not how you feel, because it's impossible that you see me, defending myself, but you don't see her attacking me. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You see that. And if it gets to a point to where the man himself is attacking you, and I'm thinking about, when I have had people in the past, okay, everybody ain't real. Okay, everybody ain't real. I would say everybody ain't real. But my first husband, baby, them girls will be they will be trying it, bro. They will be trying it. They'll be trying it. Don't matter what we at. We could be walking into the Burger King, okay, on Fudge Road, or we could be, you know what I'm saying, going here, there, wherever, bro. And there will be women looking at him, then looking at me, looking at him, looking at me. And he always tell me and fall out laughing. And it's just scandalous, bruh. Scandalous, scandalous. That's one thing. It's a whole other thing when your man himself is seeking out women, acting like he's single, and then bringing them back like, now you can attack her. You can attack her. No, you cannot. Okay, it's going to always be a situation where God is going to protect the innocent. God is going to defend the innocent. And if that ain't your girl, then it shouldn't be a situation where you allowing her to attack people that you allegedly like. It don't make it make sense. It can't be both. It can't be both. And you know what I'm saying? God is not the author of confusion. 1333, God is not the author of confusion. And because God is not the author of confusion, if it's a situation where it looked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, I'm gonna assume that it is what it is now. I can't argue with that. And you can say out your mouth, that ain't my girl, that ain't my girl. It's giving. It's giving. It's giving. And you can't tell me that, well, I see you as my person, but you sitting up here letting her make a mock of me. It can't be both. It can't be both. It can't be both, and it can't be both some more. Because I know me personally, I don't have time for that. I have things that I'm trying. I have goals. I have dreams. I have been working very hard to just build myself up to the place that I'm at for years. And I don't have time for nobody taking out the time, effort, and energy trying to tear me down. It'll be a situation where I'm finna deuces to you. Yes, even if it's a situation where you are my only friend, because how much of a friend are you if you sitting up here mocking me? How much of a friend are you if you sit up here, you're not even defending me when I need you to? You sitting up here ignoring everything. Like, that is not cool. And I understand it ain't attractive for a woman to be in this defense mode. It's not attractive for a woman to be like masculine. It's not. It's not. It is not attractive. But simultaneously, if you don't have nobody defending you, what more can you do? That's just like I said. I feel sorry for some of these women that get caught up at these hotels and these Uber cars because they don't have anyone to defend them. And when you are completely like imbalanced and you all the way in your femininity to such an extent that you can't even defend yourself when you need to, baby. And you know, as somebody like I've had a lot of people tell me they feel like I'm masculine. They feel like I'm a little hard. I'm a little harsh. My voice is a little rough. I sound like I've been, you know what I'm saying, baby. As I've said many times on my channel, I don't have no baby, baby. I know some people. I didn't roam and I didn't roam these streets. Okay, I don't. I like. I'm from Bracewood. Like, I don't know why. What are you expecting out of me? I ain't trying to say I'm just a full blown hood goblin, but I mean, it is what it is. Even with me being shy, even if it, with a piece of me being timid, when I am able to be all the way in my femininity, yes, I'm shy too. But when it comes down to it, when I have to defend myself, when it's a situation where I ain't got nobody else, I know I'm going to stand up for myself. And I always been that way. And, you know, that it is what it is. And that's the message. God said this is somebody that I almost feel like somebody is in shock or they are confused because they're trying to figure out what happened, how did it happen, why did it happen. God said you had to stand up for yourself. You had to. If you wouldn't have stand up for yourself, it would have been a situation where somebody just wanted to drag you, mock you, make fun of you, and like it's almost like this is ridicule you. God said this is somebody that's all they wanted to do. And now they in confusion, scratching their head, trying to figure out why such and such said that they gonna leave this job. Such and such said they quitting. Such and such said they going to another school. Such and such said they about to move. Such and such said they like, baby. You, I mean, like, I just feel like this is somebody that kept on poke until you say, you know what, I give up. What else can you do? You refuse to leave me alone. You refuse to leave me alone. You refuse to leave me alone. So what else can I do except say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm just gonna accept it. I have no other choice. And that's just like the video that I posted last night. At the point that it got to when once they, you know what I'm saying, my name was on the schedule with zero days, 0 hours. I ain't even coming in to go with somebody to an appointment. I was like, oh, I might as well quit. I'm gonna have to figure something else out. And with all that time on my hands, here we are. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Here we are. And that may have not been what people were thinking. I don't know what people were expecting out of me. I don't know. But you know, at that time period, it was a lot of mess. It was a lot of drama. I felt like, you know, everybody kind of turned their back on me a little bit. But you know, it is what it is. I lost a lot of friends and I went through a lot of heartache, and it caused me to basically build myself what I got going on now. That is literally how Cat Lady Cosmetics and Starscartel was born in the midst of all that turmoil. And I feel like even though that message, it can be kind of sad because when you are in a position of receiving that message, it's not a situation where you are smiling. It's a situation where you are experiencing heartache. Because in order for God to get you to a place to where He is literally forcing you to let go, this somebody He forced you to let go. Force. Let go by force. This is somebody God forced you to let go, and it's hard. But in reality, sometimes you get to a place to where you have no other choice when everybody is being mean and everybody is picking on you. And I'm gonna be honest. I get it. There are sometimes where people can come in and they have all these mean, nasty things to say. I'm thinking about, I was watching this version of Snow White. It wasn't the Disney version. It was a different version of, I said, I'm free. It was a different version of Snow White. But at the end of the movie, Snow White comes back from the forest with the seven dwarfs and all the people from the forest. And her stepmother then told all these lies about her and how she's mean and she's selfish and she's spoiled and she did that. And here